Playing some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Today's video for the Halloween themed month is Professor Thelonious Viper in his Venom deck. Venom. Yeah, I mean, this dude primarily focuses on reptiles, but more specifically, Venom type of reptile cards. This might be a little bit tricky to work with because primarily focuses on poisoning, in a sense, your opponent's deck, lowering their monster's attack to darn near zero. So we'll quickly go over his deck the cards that he primarily has in his deck from the anime and manga. Then we'll get into the character when we start playing around with some of this cards. So first things first, Venom Snake. Once per turn, you can place one Venom counter on one monster your opponent controls. If you activate this effect, this card cannot attack during this turn. Venom Serpent. Once per turn, you can place one Venom counter on one monster your opponent controls. Venom Boa. Once per turn, you can place two Venom counters on one monster your opponent controls. If you activate this effect, this card cannot attack during this turn. Phenomenon, the king of king of the poisonous snakes. Cannot be special summoned by another effect monster's effect. This card is unaffected by Venom Swamp. This card gains 500 attack for each reptile type monster in your graveyard. When this card is destroyed by battle sent to the graveyard, you can banish one reptile monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. Phenomenanga, the deity of poisonous snakes, cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned with Rise of the Snake deity, and cannot be special summoned by other ways except by its own effect. This card gains 500 attack for each reptile monster in your graveyard. This card cannot be targeted by and is unaffected by spell and trap card effects and other monster effects. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can banish one reptile monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, place one Hyper Venom counter on it. When three Hyper Venom counters are on this card, you win the duel. So yeah, those kind of like Exodia in a way. Sinister Serpent. During your standby phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can add it to your hand. Also banish one Sinister Serpent from your graveyard during your opponent's next end phase. You can only use this effect of Sinister Serpent once per turn. Sephirothine Princess. If this face-up card is returned from the field to your deck, select one special summon one level 3 or lower monster from your deck to your side of the field, then shuffle your deck. Okay, and of course I added like a few other snake-like cards to pad out this deck a little bit. Venom Cobra. Hard scales cover all parts of this gigantic cobra. It hunts by shooting out massive amounts of venom, but because of its large size, its attack patterns is easily predicted. Venom Burn. Select one monster with a venom counter, remove all venom counters from that card, and inflict 700 damage to your opponent for each venom counter removed. You got Snake Whistle. Activate only when a reptile monster you control is destroyed. Special summon one level 4 or lower reptile monster from your deck. Snake Fang. Decrease one selected monster's defense by 500 points during the turn this card is activated. Snake Deity's Command. Activate by showing your opponent one Venom monster in your hand. Negate the activation and effect of an opponent's spell or spell card and destroy it. Rise of the Snake Deity. When a face-up phenomenon, the king of poisonous snakes you control, is destroyed, except by battle, special summon one Venomanaga, the deity of poisonous snakes, from your hand or deck. Offering of the Snake Deity. Target one face-up reptile monster you control and 2 cards your opponent controls. Destroy all 3 targets. Damage equals reptile. Once per turn, when you take battle damage from a battle involving a reptile type monster, you can special summon one reptile type monster from your deck with the attack less than or equal to the battle damage you took. Ambush Fangs. Activate only when a face-up Venom monster you control is declared as an attack target. Negate the attack and end the battle phase. Then place one Venom counter on the monster that attacked. Venom Swamp. During each player's end phase, place one Venom counter on each face-up monster except Venom monsters. Monsters loses 500 attack for each Venom counter on them. Destroy a monster if its attack becomes 0 by this effect. Venom Shot. Activate only while you control a face-up Venom monster, Venomanaga, the deity of poisonous snakes, or Venomenon, the king of poisonous snakes. Send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. Place 2 Venom counters on one face-up monster your opponent controls. Snake Rain. Discard 1 card, select 4 reptile monsters from your deck, and send them to the graveyard. And yeah, that pretty much covers it. So let's try this deck out. Of course, snake in the grass. You have to start off with Jaden. This might take me a couple of tries, because of course Jaden has his the Neospatians and his elemental heroes. Combined, they're very, very hard to beat. I need to get my Venom Swamp. Well, it's not necessarily as Jaden is hard to beat with those Neospatians and elemental heroes. It's just that if you got the right cards available, it could be a devastating. The cards can be very devastating if played the right way. Because once he gets fusions going, it's hard to stop. Dark Bright. Alright. Shoot, I could have summoned the deity right there. Didn't get to utilize my Venom cards as well, but trying against Axel. Yeah, Viper is one of those few characters, well, at least villain characters, that has a sympathetic backstory. Kind of like with Maximilian Pegasus in a way too, and Merrick. Because it's usually with spurred on by maybe loved ones in some capacity. But like Maximilian Pegasus had his childhood love interest, Cecilia, who died for, I'm not sure if it was like an illness or something. But yeah, and then that's the whole reason why he tried to collect the Millennium items, just to use their power to bring his loved one back. But then with Viper, in his case, he was a soldier who was on a battlefield with his teammates or fellow soldiers, and he was like, they was on some kind of mission. One second here. Okay. Got nothing. Might have to start over. Yeah, Viper was on some kind of routine patrol with his fellow soldiers until he eventually heard like a baby's cries. He went to investigate and found like a baby abandoned in the middle of the street. And right when he was checking on the baby, some kind of bomb went off right where he was about to engage the an enemy. His fellow soldiers got killed in the blast, but he survived, and he thought in his mind, well, thanks in part, it was actually thanks in part to that baby. He heard the baby's cries and went to check on the baby. So the baby in a way saved his life. So he eventually adopted the baby. He discharged from the, well, I'm not sure he discharged from the army or anything like that, but he went home, took care of the child. It was a small boy. And when the boy was like I don't know, maybe like 8 or 9 or something like that, 8, 9 or 10, pretty sure at the most 10. And as a birthday gift, Viper gave this boy a deck of Duel Monsters cards. It blew out of his hand in the wind, and the boy went chasing after those cards. It was in the middle of the street and got hit by a car. In the manga, or the Japanese version, the kid died. And then the American dub version, he survived, but he got stricken by some illness and passed away through that means. It was weird. The dub version doesn't make it too harsh. But Viper, of course, was distraught. He went back on one of the missions, and there was some. This is when he met up with Yugioh, who was in this little satellite or something like that was sent off, kind of like those what do you call those things? When you leave items for the future in like a little container and bury it somewhere, those kind of things. And it came back. Yugioh, not possessed, but led him to believe that Yugioh can bring his son back to life if Viper helped Yugioh out. So of course Viper agreed, and pretty much that's the reason why he went to Duel Academy and created those little bio bands to suck the dual energy from all the dualism on the in the academy, and then pretty much feeding Yugioh just to make Yugioh stronger. I don't even know if Yugioh is like a him or her. I think Yugioh is androgynous, but Yugioh, after Viper served his purpose, even though he lost the duel against Jaden, cast an illusion in Viper's mind, making him believe he saw his son. And as a shocker to everybody, because this is probably the first time in an American dub version of Yugioh where something gets pretty darn graphic, the illusion compelled Viper to walk off the ledge. This platform they was dueling on, Viper walked off the ledge trying to follow his son and died, followed till his death pretty much. And that was, it wasn't graphic or anything, like no blood or anything, but you see him fall. It's very high up, so of course he died. but that was intense. And of course, that was sad because he just wanted to get his son back. Any parent, even though, you know, adopted or not, that was his kid, and he wanted his son back. And any parent would go through a lot just to probably get their kid back. You know, select one monster with the Venom counter and remove all Venom counters. Okay, can't use that right now. But I just had to quickly go over that little backstory. Viper, yeah, has a, you know, his little his little moment. Yeah, that was very tragic. Gotta start over. Of course, it was Viper who brought in Jesse, Jim Crocodile Cook, and Axel Brody to Duel Academy Island. Because, for the most part, I think there was, no, not Jesse, but Axel was definitely working under Viper for a little bit until until Viper pretty much like well, in a way, Axel realized Viper was nuts, and so he pretty much defected, especially after befriending Jaden. Okay. Yes. Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that. I was not paying attention. Good one. I'm surprised I haven't gotten my Venom Swamp on the field. Like, come on. Or in my hand, I should say. Oh, I had no choice in the matter. I thought I made a mistake with the Sinister Serpent, removing it from play, but I had no choice in the matter. Finally. There we go, finally. I need a Monster Reborn, or do I have called a Haunted? shoot. I should have used different dimension to, yeah, I do got called a haunted, to use to give me Monster Reborn. Don't know why his other monster, who didn't have any attack points, suddenly all of a sudden couldn't get destroyed. You know, I chose this particular deck as part of the Halloween Yu-Gi-Oh videos because a lot of people are scared of snakes. Seemed appropriate. And just was on like a crazy need to watch that episode where Jaden duels Viper. Guess take on Jim Crocodile Crook. It's kind of like the Crocodile Dundee of the show, because Axel Brody's pretty much Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop, which, by the way, is a great movie. By the way, I will be doing a Jim Crocodile Cook. I keep want to say Crook. Jim Crocodile Cook for a Yu-Gi-Oh profile deck video. His stuff is pretty much rock type monsters for the most part. Yeah, because he's not like a paleontologist. Well, is it paleontologist? He digs up bones. Shoot, he had to have a big piece golem, wouldn't he? Well, it was a good time as any to try out because I guess I need Venom Swamp to make these counters work. It doesn't work by themselves. I need my Venom Swamp. Jeez, look how deep in my deck the card was. Yeah, it's not gonna work now. Can't believe I can't get Venom Swamp ready in the hand at the start of the match. Because Venom Swamp is probably quintessential in Viper's deck to make everything else work. Because I count on those Venom counters just to affect the opponent so he cannot do anything. Oh no, I messed up. Forgot to switch it around. Supposed to be dueling. I thought about doing like a Dark World archetype video, but I don't have that many cards to support it in this game. What do you guys think of Viper as a villain from the Yu-Gi-Oh series? How would he rank insofar as like a, not like one of those major villains, but one of those villains below the main villain? Because I mean, he doesn't leave that much of an impact compared to the other Yu-Gi-Oh villain characters. Like Merrick, he left a major impact. Pegasus, he's the creator of the card, so of course he leaves an impact. Added on to his little flamboyancy, he definitely leaves a critical impact. Dang it. When you get that big ass rock monster, it's kind of, these are kind of the moments that I want to have like card destruction in my hand just to make sure I can get rid of his cards, that particular card away from him. Because all he has to do is remove other rock monsters from his graveyard just to make that one work. I knew I should have put Venom Swamp 3 times in my deck, not just 2. And these are rock monsters, so of course they'll have high defense. But let's see. Yep, giant soldier of stone. Gigagagigo. Gigagagigo. That's the stupidest name you can give a monster. And make sure I get a monster on the field. I haven't seen my Venom at all. Okay. Oh, can't attack. There you go. I was looking for this one. Okay, we'll do one more against Jesse. I mean, if you build Viper's deck in a way, not exactly the way I have it, but roughly keep the same stuff, it can be like a very effective deck, especially if you build it in a way to make sure you always get your Venom Swamp at play, and use a card like Field Barrier just to make sure there's no card affecting it to destroy it. All the Venom monsters that you have can be very devastating. There we go. This could be my chance. Oh, it has to be destroyed by your opponent's card, I guess. Okay. A monster reborn would be nice right about now, or at least Call of the Haunted. What the heck? That's called a Haunted. Did I already use Monster Reborn? Screw it. Yeah, I already used it. Duh. I know I wasn't going crazy. Kind of want to see if I can get my DDD. I'm about to say DDD. My snake DDD. Deity. God. It's not Smash Brothers. Forgot that sucker has 1600 defense. Well, I couldn't get my Venom on the field, unfortunately, but you pretty much get the picture. I didn't utilize any synchro summon, which is fine, because this is only level 2, and it requires at least 2 more levels to function as a solid synchro. I kind of wasted some good deck space because of this, but nonetheless, the Venom deck is very, very good if you make sure that Venom Swamp is your focus. Get Venom Swamp on your field, protect it with cards like Field Barrier, so that way you can utilize everything else among your deck. Now, normally you should not, base your deck around one singular card, but if you have to, make sure the card or cards that's the primary focus is well protected and you get it available in your hand so you can play it at the right moments, because without it, everything else is pretty much just basic cards. But I'm gonna leave the next video archetype, or at least the next deck profile, a bit of a surprise for you guys. Probably gonna be taking like a time off tomorrow, but definitely this weekend I will be back playing some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, some more deck profile, and well, it's gonna be a minute for any other future archetypes. Well, no, not necessarily. There's one in particular I want to do too for this month, but I will be back soon, so I'll be hopping on to some Batman Arkham City. So if you want to check that out, it's on the first 2 videos is on my channel. If you're watching this a day later, you should see all 3 available on the channel. I want to get through that, and I still need to wrap up some Red Dead Redemption 2. Hopefully I can get that done within probably either over the weekend or some point next week. Also, some Ghost of Tsushima, I need to get that wrapped up soon. But I will see you all later. So have a good night.